In 2010, FIFA World Cup officials hosted a ceremony to announce the host nations for the 2018 and 2022 World Cups. For the 2018 World Cup, FIFA announced that Russia would be hosting the major tournament, while for 2022, to everyone's dismay, Qatar was chosen as the big host nation. Since then, many people have been speculating whether this has been bribed. However, their World Cup bid has been nothing short of a disaster. Through use of their kafala system, which brings in workers from other countries and allows them to poorly treat and give them harsh working conditions, to the bribery, Qatar's World Cup might go down as one of the most controversial World Cups in history. For starters, let's talk about the bribery. At the 2010 World Cup ceremony, there were multiple 2022 nations bidding for the World Cup, including Japan, Australia, and even the United States. However, all of these countries would be shocked when Qatar got the win. Since then, many countries and individuals alike have been speculating that this World Cup was bribed by Qatar. And just recently, in 2015, from the U.S. Department of Justice, 9 FIFA officials have been charged with bribery and fraud based off of the Qatar 2022 World Cup bid. Not only did they illegally bid for the World Cup, they are using very inhumane techniques to build their stadiums. The way they're getting away with this is through their kafala system. Their kafala system, as reported by Human Rights Watch, is a way to give disproportionate power to employers. This means minimal pay for these workers and extremely harsh conditions for these workers, including working in hot Middle Eastern summers. As well, non-Qataris dead in the past 10 years is well over 15,000, as also reported by Human Rights Watch. And most of these were due to the inhumane conditions in which these slaves had to endure. Again, this includes high temperatures. As well, there's not the best safety regulations in Qatar, meaning many of these workers work freely up on the tops of these stadiums that they had to build. Not only did this occur, they as well gave them inhumane living conditions. For starters, when many of these workers got into Qatar, New Frame says that they were promised health care, insurance, and basic human rights. However, when they got to the country, their passports were taken away. As well, as also reported by New Frame, workers spent 14 to 15 hours in harsh Middle Eastern heat building these stadiums. This includes when it gets up to 120 degrees in the middle of summer, which is beyond a point where these workers can get heat exhaustion and heat stroke and fall from these buildings and die. As well, these workers had their passports taken upon them at arrival, as reported by Amnesty International, and many have been not allowed to leave the country to go see their family or travel. So when many of these workers got to the country, they were not allowed to leave. These workers often got small pay that they worked for, and as reported by Amnesty International, who interviewed many workers who worked the 2022 FIFA World Cup, their pay got held for days or even weeks, which is huge if you're living paycheck to paycheck, meaning you can't buy things that you need to survive, like food and water. The World Cup as well has been bribed by Qatar to sweep these travesties under the doormat. However, it should not be taken for granted. Over 15,000 workers have died for the World Cup. And for the biggest tournament in history, this is a disgrace to both FIFA, to the game of soccer, and to the nation of Qatar. In conclusion, this bid has been a disaster for 12 years. And with the tournament happening in less than 2 weeks, this should be the main talking point of the tournament, as these workers have had to endure terrible conditions to get the tournament to where it will be in 2 weeks. Thank you for your time.